Welcome to Engage South KC, where we are inspired by Jesus impacting our city and the world.
Living this way is an art form that is best when practiced together. We do this together by resisting apathy,
Welcoming everyone and making sure no one is left out.
participating in remedying the concerns of those around us and around the world.
Telling our stories, and just by actually being, eating, and doing life together.
We believe that every day is another chance to live by faith
Labor in love.
and endure with hope. Join us, create with us, as we follow the brushstrokes of the Creator.
Welcome to Engage South KC.
Make me a vessel of your peace. Where there is war, let fighting cease. All that divides us, come reconcile us. Make me a vessel of your peace. Make me a vessel of your where there is hatred, break it up. All creeds and colors bind us together. Make me a vessel of your love. Pour me out, pour me out, pour me out, Lord, wherever I am, wherever I go. Pour me out, pour me out, pour me out, Lord, wherever I am, wherever I go. Make me a vessel of your hope. Where dreams are dead, come wake them up. A new horizon, I feel it rising. Make me a vessel of your hope. Pour me out, pour me out, pour me out, Lord, wherever I am, wherever I go. Pour
Finding our lane in life can be a painful process. It also can be a funny one in retrospect. I thought that my lane in life was playing baseball. Um, I thought for sure I was born to play in the majors, and then it took a school counselor when I was about 14 or 15 asking me if I was the best player in my small town, and the answer was no. He asked if I was the best player in the school, which again, the answer was no, and then asked if I was the best player even in our grade, and again, the answer was no. And he said that I better start considering a plan B. And at the time, that was painful. It still kind of is, but later, I thought my lane in life was acting and on the stage and in films, and it took some failed acrobatics when I was playing one of the flying monkeys in the play The Wizard of Oz to kind of steer me clear of that lane. And that was both painful and funny now looking back. I started leading worship in churches when I was in my mid 20s. And I look back at those early days of worship leading and I shudder at the focus I had sometimes. Although God used me and He used that time of leading worship, I thought I was going to be the next David Crowder. And I moved from this small plant church to a bigger church and one day was called into the senior pastor's office. And he told me that they were going to search for another worship leader for the service I was leading because my singing just wasn't that good. And that was painful. Again, still is painful. And I look back at those experiences now, and I honestly don't know how much a part of those God really was, or if it was just all human ambition. It's probably a mixture of both when I think about it. But one experience I know for sure that God was in. After a service where I was leading, I had a lady speak a word of prophecy over my life. And if that sounds weird to you, then we're in the same boat because I haven't had that happen very often to me. I can be pretty skeptical of that kind of thing. But it was the way that she explained it, the posture that she had, that made me believe that what she was saying was genuine. She had the posture of a messenger, is the best way that I could explain it. It was clear to me that there was nothing in this for her. And she also spoke in a different language. It was Spanish. And so we had to have a translator deliver this message from her to me. And so this word to me, this prophetic word was very personal. So I won't go into that. But what I will say was this: it wasn't about who I was not. I think sometimes the process of finding our lane in life can be so painful because we tend to focus on what we are not. I'm not a baseball player. I'm not an actor. I'm not David Crowder, etc. And as I look at God's word and the way that He designates our unique lanes in life, this isn't how He works at all. Instead, it's all about who we are, who I am, who you are. You are a precious child of God. Psalm 139 says, "We are knit together intricately in our mother's womb. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Your days are ordained before one of them takes place." This isn't what you're not kind of language. There's not a lot of oopsies by God going on here. This is God's perfect plan, His design, His intricate, detailed, thoughtful, careful, perfect, personal, loving plan. It's who you are, not who you are not. And this is the process of finding or defining what God's mission in your life is, your lane. It's been this way since the beginning. In the book of Genesis in the Bible, it tells us the story of creation. And the first thing God does is He makes light. He doesn't make light to not be dark. He makes light to be light. It's about what light is, not about what it's not. And on it goes. The sky is made, and the day and night. Day is not made to not be night, and night is not made to not be day. They're made to be day and night. So everything has a lane, has a purpose, has a specific mission. And then God makes people. And people have the greatest mission of all, to hold dominion over the earth. It's a crappy translation because we think dominion, we think dominate, but actually the word is closer to serve. Take care of God's creation. According to the story of Genesis, Adam is given this mission, to take care of God's creation. And God sees that job as a really big one, and so He needs help and companionship. And so Eve is created to help. So there you have it, with the first people that God creates, we are given our shared lane, the lane that we all share to serve and to help. And to serve and to help is like this 2-lane superhighway to God's heart, God's original vision, dream for us and the world. And so we're off. But then what happens? The evil one comes and entices the people into doing what would become an exclusively human behavior, questioning their lane in life. And so instead of helping and serving others, they decide to serve and help themselves. And this causes brokenness. And it's not enough to kill God's dream for us, but it is enough to move it. But God keeps dreaming and he keeps creating now of ways to get us back to his original dream, his original vision for us. And this is where our unique lanes come in. Our ever creative, always loving God decides to use us, regular, ordinary people, to get us back. He uses their dreams, their gifts, their passions, their abilities, their experiences. God chooses to leverage people's place in the world for his mission, to serve and to help and restore people in the world to their intended place. And that is pretty cool. So there's people like Abraham. And Abraham has this dream to have many children, even though he's never even had one. And God says, not only will you have one child, but you will have so many descendants that they will outnumber the stars in the sky. So we start inching back towards God's dream as God's people continue to serve and help and follow him. But we always have this tendency to serve and help ourselves. And it holds us back. And it puts this way, essentially, under construction. So God does the coolest thing. He models this himself by becoming a person. A Jewish carpenter named Jesus who leverages his unique place perfectly to serve others and to help us get back to God's original dream for us and for the world. He never gives in to the tendency to serve and help himself, to serve and help ourselves. And so he, through the cross, makes our path straight. Through the gift of the Holy Spirit, the church is born. To be the party bus on this serving and helping highway on the road to kingdom come. God's original dream, his original vision for the world. A man named Paul, who, by the way, has a crazy lane in life that he leverages for God's mission. He describes it as such. He says, prophets should be prophets and teachers should teach, etc. He's saying, bring yourself, your gifts, your passions, your abilities, your personality, your experiences. Bring your place in life to the church. And that is the fuel that fuels the party bus. That is what fuels the party bus of the church leading to kingdom come. But we still have this tendency to serve and help ourselves. So the church doesn't function in this way anymore. It becomes a place that we kind of come and go. People live their lives out here. Instead of our unique lanes in life being on-ramps to the church is seen as an entity that feeds us. And so the church putters. But what if we remembered that our unique lanes in life are on-ramps to God's serving and helping superhighway? That the church was made to be the vehicle that takes us all to God's original dream, the kingdom come. What if we came to the church with our unique lane, our gifts, our passions, our abilities, our personality, our experiences? What if we decided to use our place in life as leverage for God's mission? And then this baby runs on rocket fuel. So if this is all very confusing to you, I want to give you an example from my personal life. Um, I became a children's book author about 8 years ago, and it's one of my biggest fights with God. Why did I experience so much fear as a child? Why was my childhood so full of fear? And it was my Christian counselor, who's amazing, who helped me to process this. And she said something profound. She said, maybe you're a children's book author because now you have the ability, because of your experiences, to say the things to other children that little Jason needed to hear. It's not easy, but it's using my experiences, my giftings, my personality. It's using those things as an on ramp to God's superhighway of serving and helping en route to God's kingdom come. And our church, our co-pastor, Lexi, she has a unique gifting for finding mission partners, one of those being Unite KC, who's an organization working for racial reconciliation here in Kansas City. I found through Unite KC that there was this tour you could take that would show you how redlining took place in Kansas City. Basically, how about 100 years ago, people drew invisible lines that separated Black people from white people. And I saw that and I thought it was so terrible, even worse, that not a lot of people know this history. And so, using my own unique lane, I decided that what I needed to do was write a children's book about what happened here in Kansas City so that children will know, in a way, using their imagination, what took place and have an imagination for something different being the case for Kansas City going forward. This is using your unique place, your perspectives, your personality, your giftings, your abilities as on-ramps onto this superhighway of serving and helping, using the church as that party bus that leads us to God's kingdom coming to earth. So where do we begin? One thing that we picked up from Unite KC is they ask people to do one good thing, and that's what we've done at Engage South KC. We do that every time we meet. So here's one good thing. This is the way to start. If you're confused about what your unique lane, or even if you know that, but you've got kind of lost along the way, this week, one good thing, join with someone to serve and help others. Join someone else in serving and helping others. See, by doing that, we get back to that original shared lane that we all have. And that usually leads us more to our unique lanes. Our unique lanes begin to become more clear when we serve and help others with community. And also, the church is reborn because that's what the church is. And God's dream, the kingdom coming to earth, manifests right before our eyes.